So I came out to the garage today to do a quick video on my Skywalker Eve 2000 that came in the mail the other day. The weather's actually been really nice out, so I've been flying instead of messing with new planes. I got this as a bit of a project for the winter. In front of it, I've laid out the wing from my first FPV plane, Skywalker 2014 18A, just for a bit of size comparison. If you'd like to see the video about that plane, I'll put a link to it in the description below. Wings are about 6 or 8 inches wider total. The wings themselves are only a couple of inches longer. You get that extra width from the fuselage. Let's take a closer look at the plane. Right, so obviously I haven't put any of the plywood in, nor have I attached the wing assembly. I just wanted to get a sense of the space that's going to be inside the plane and how I can get in and out of it. So the big hatch here, this is the big orange plastic hatch. It just comes off. Looks like it's going to be a bit of a tab at the bottom and then a retaining clip at the top. And then on the front you get this honking big cover plate that just comes off. So you get a very wide entry hole, which is good. Unfortunately, that crossbar, and there's 2 of them there, are going to be in the way. So when I do the plywood assembly there, I'll have a look at how much space I actually get to bring things in and out. But it should be okay. I've noticed they've built in some venting already. So in the front of the plane, you'll see there's a vent, a scoop on the bottom, as well as a hole for an FPV camera, which is nice. And then in the back, just off to the side, you'll see a vent hole in the back there to let some air at the back. They also give you a mount at the top, which has a hole. I'm not sure if I'm going to use that. So the next interesting thing about this plane is how the wings go on it. So they molded 2 pieces of plastic and put a connector in it. This is what it looks like when it's together. On each side from the factory, it comes with 2 leads. 2 servo leads and then 2 power leads as well. So I've actually Googled this connector. What it gives you is, focus, there you go. It gives you 5 pins of signal and then 2 pins for power. This is meant to run out into the wing. Unfortunately, if you like to put things in your wings like I do, this is going to be a bit of a problem. So with the 2 servo leads you get now, what they've done is they've ran the negatives all to the main battery negative. The 2 signal wires are on top, and then they mounted the 2 red positives together on a single pin. So that really only leaves you with 2, focus, it's not going to focus, it only gives you 2 pins left to run anything else into the wings. So with these 2 servo leads, you're going to do your ESC control and your aileron control. Now these wings come with flaps, so you're going to have to add another wire like they've done here to get that. So that'll take up another signal pin, which means you have 1 signal pin remaining to do anything else in the wing that you want. So if you wanted to put a video transmitter out here, or if you wanted to put an antenna out here, anything like that, you're going to have to probably Dremel or make another hole here. I made a really good system on my Twin Dream, so I could just pull the wings on and off. And I'll make a video about that, another video with that, and I'll put the description about that below. That works really, really well, so I'll probably modify that a bit to work on here. So this is the Skywalker wing. There's 2 spires to run through, one slightly bigger than the other. And then in the wing itself, you get 2 reinforcing spires that you're going to glue right into the foam. Ailerons and flaps and cutouts for servos all done. Looks pretty good. I built a My Twin Dream, and it has a slightly different system for how the motors and ESCs mount. I actually like this a lot. What do you get? So let's flip this over. So to mount the motor, you get this PVC or ABS tube. Lots of room here. So your mounting bracket goes to the outside holes of your mounting brackets. You get lots of room around the motor. I've bought Turnigy SK3 Aero Drive 3536s to put in this, and I still have lots of room around the motor for the airflow. That seats in a little groove here, so you're guaranteed to get it lined up straight and flat. And then you get a really large space for your ESC. So there's my finger for comparison. You get over a full finger. And it's actually quite deep, a couple of digit and a half. So it's actually quite large. You get big channels to run all your wires through. There's lots of room in here. It's too bad they paired that with this terrible connector, which limits me to 5 signal wires. I don't know. Airflow for this as well. So you got a big air vent. So when it goes in the wing, you get this big air vent out the back. So you get lots of good cooling for your motor and ESC. So this is the tail on my original Skywalker. And I just wanted to make a couple of little comparisons for people who are interested. So on the old one, you mounted directly in the phone with a big orange plastic mounting clip. This is how you mount it on this one. So there's a plywood ring that glues onto the back of the plane there. And then this plate gets tied into a bunch of other plates. And then there's one little set screw there with a hole in the carbon fiber pole to hold it. So that's the way it mounts to the plane, which looks a lot better. There's just one screwed undo to get it out. Other difference is on the old one, you get a plastic clip and a very pointy nose. This one, no plastic clip, and it's a bit blunter. Also on the bottom, there's a slot for the landing skid. So I'm assuming somewhere there's a little reinforcing bit, or maybe I'll make one out of plastic. But it looks like the tail clip is the same as the other one. Also, the way the servo horns are mounted is different. So on the old one, you've got just a plastic servo horn. And on this one, you're going to get a plywood reinforcer. Everything else about them is the same. Last thing I wanted to note about this particular plane, looks like they've prepared much better for landing gear in this plane. So you get this plate, a couple of blind nuts on it. Screws are pretty small. Probably do those in nylon, so if you have a hard landing, they'll just snap off and you won't tear the bottom out of your plane. But they give you a little space for that. Slides in there. And then on the internal battery plate, they leave you a hole here. I'm not sure why. I'm going to assume they just cut the ring for the back out of the middle of it. But I guess you could do a servo in the belly if you wanted. You can see there's your intake, so I'll go right over your batteries, cool air, and then way into the back of the plane. So that's pretty cool. And then the rest of the superstructure have not assembled, but it would all go together and slide inside and be glued in there permanently. It's be interesting to see how the electronics lay out in here. So that's my review / unboxing / quick look at the Skywalker Eve 2000. I'm going to document how I build this plane and the stuff that I do to it. So stay tuned and subscribe and like if you'd like to see more videos about this plane. And don't forget to check out my other planes, and the links to those are in the description. Thanks for watching.